It is incredibly frustrating to pour yourself into a script that goes nowhere, and no contest placements, no read requests, not even interest from others when you talk about it. And there's a brutal but freeing truth you may need to hear. Most writers fail because they don't understand how insanely high the professional bar of Hollywood really is. But the real opportunity is if you can write, not just one screenplay, but any screenplay that exceeds the standard, doors will open. And it doesn't matter if you want to sell it or get meetings from it or win a contest from it or even produce it yourself and have people actually watch it. And right now, I've got students pursuing all of those goals. And if you want to work with me to help you do the same thing, there is a link below. And the truth is, achieving any or all of those goals is within your grasp too, if you can learn how to write a Hollywood quality screenplay. So I'm going to show you 3 critical elements your script must have if you want to hit that Hollywood quality and why that standard is important no matter what your professional screenwriting goals are. But first, we have to deal with what Hollywood quality even means. And simply, when people use the phrase Hollywood quality, what they're really identifying is what the minimum professional threshold of quality you need is before something is actually considered good. And not considered good by some arbitrary person in Hollywood. Good in that it delivers on its premise, it gives a great emotional and satisfying ride to the audience, and it just makes good financial sense. It's a good investment. And the reason it's Hollywood quality and not just screenwriting quality is because Hollywood has been making movies a long time. They've learned to identify trends of what is working and what isn't, what makes a film connect with an audience and what doesn't. Do they get it wrong? Well, absolutely they do. But they also get it right more than they get it wrong. Otherwise, they'd be out of business. So when anyone, including me, talks about your screenwriting needing to reach the threshold of Hollywood quality, it means your script is ticking all of the important boxes. And when that happens, your script will be a good film whether Hollywood makes it or not, or whether you make it on your own, or whether you just use it to win a contest. And the other little piece that you need to remember is that I can have a Hollywood quality screenplay that can win contests, but no one will actually make it. Or that someone might want to make it, but it wouldn't make the quarterfinals in any contest. And that's because those different outlets are looking for different things. And this is why when any reader gives coverage, it's one of 3 things: pass, consider, or recommend. Now, pass just means it's just not up to snuff in one way, shape, or form or the other. Maybe you, the writer, or the script, or story, or whatever. It's just not there. Consider means the premise and idea are close, but maybe it's not executed at quite the level it needs to be. Or that the writer is good and the writing is good, but the script doesn't really fit the goals of the company right now. So it's just a consider. A recommend means the writer and the screenplay are at the level they need to be, and something needs to be done with the script right now. So your goal when getting any read is really to get a consider or a recommend. Now, if you're getting a pass, you're just not there yet. So how can you improve your chances of getting a consider or a recommend, of having a screenplay at that coveted Hollywood quality level? And there are 3 things you need to demonstrate in your script. The first is it needs to be marketable. Your script has to have a premise that instantly grabs attention. When someone hears it, their gut reaction should be, I have to see that. Because here's the thing, it doesn't matter how well you write dialogue or how well you wax poetic in your descriptions if the core idea itself doesn't excite people. Because movies are first sold on the concept before anything else. That's what gets a producer to read it, that's what gets a director behind it, that's what gets an actor asking about it, that's what gets an audience to buy a ticket. So how do you know if your premise is marketable? Well, you need to think like a marketer and ask yourself, can I picture the movie poster? Is the log line instantly compelling? Can I imagine what the movie trailer includes? And are the pieces in that trailer compelling, and are they actually in the script? Basically, when people hear the concept, is their gut reaction, I have to see that? And probably even more importantly, does it fit within a story type that tends to make money? Now, I'm not saying you can't write your deeply moving 4-hour existential drama about a goat herder in Albania. You probably shouldn't, so yeah, I guess I am actually saying you shouldn't write that movie. Because if your goal is to place in a contest, sell your script, or even produce an indie film that people actually watch, Your odds are going to skyrocket if you're writing the types of stories that audiences already love. Action, action-adventure, horror, sci-fi, comedy, or a combination of those. Because if you're trying to break into the business, you need to reduce barriers to entry, not create more of them. And when your script has a marketable premise, it's like walking in holding the golden goose. You don't even need to beg anyone to read it. They want to read it because they want to see if the execution lives up to the concept. And in fact, when I work with you, the idea phase is where we start. I mean, I don't let you write anything until you have a solid idea that is marketable, because I don't want you wasting time writing something that you won't be able to do anything with. Now, the second Hollywood quality you have to have is a deal breaker if you don't have it, even if you have a marketable idea. Because gone are the days when studios would just throw $100 million at an untested concept from an unknown writer. And in today's market, even major studios are risk averse. And for independent producers, that math is even tighter. In other words, your script has to be makeable. So if you're writing a studio level script, under 20 million is acceptable, but you really should be aiming for like 5 million or less, because it's actually possible to get a movie made at that budget. This means things like limited cast, okay, no sprawling ensemble stories with 43 speaking roles. Okay, you're aiming for 10 speaking roles or less. Limited locations, because if you're jumping between 5 different countries, yeah, you're already done. And limited locations don't mean everything takes place all inside a barn. I mean, it can, but it doesn't have to. It does mean that the production itself only has to go to a few locations to shoot out the whole script. You also want to avoid expensive scenes in places that are hard to replicate or fake. So that scene in the street in the middle of Times Square or around any recognizable monument, yeah, you got to dump those. And one of the most overlooked makeable elements that you have to do is to make sure you have juicy roles for actors. Roles that actors just want to play. And not just the main character. All the speaking parts have to have some element of juice. Because if actors want to play your characters, directors are going to want to direct them. And if directors want to direct them, producers will want to produce it. And what you want them thinking is, we have to make this. It will literally print money. And frankly, that's what anyone who reads your script should be thinking. And finally, the third element of a Hollywood quality script is it must be masterful. Your story has to be ironclad. Your structure has to work. Your scenes have to escalate tension and reveal character and propel the story forward. Your dialogue has to pop and feel authentic to the world that you're creating. Your theme has to resonate without being preachy. Your voice has to totally come through. There is no phoning it in here. Because when someone reads your script, if it isn't masterful, they will move on to the next one in their stack. But instead, you want your reader thinking, we would be stupid to not make this. And it's okay if you're not at this level yet, but you need to know where the goal is. Because Hollywood isn't looking for mediocre writers. They can get mediocre writers that are called AI. And yes, AI movies are coming, but that doesn't mean the end of screenwriting. It means the end of mediocre screenwriters. The ones who will find success and who will have the opportunities to tell stories that matter, those are the screenwriters who can consistently write at a Hollywood quality level. And even if that's not how Hollywood decision makers might articulate it, that's what they respond to. And if you're producing your own film, your audience is going to be even harsher because they don't care about your dreams. They care about the story. You owe it to them to master it. Because when your screenplay is marketable and makeable and masterful, it doesn't matter what your goal is. You want to win a contest? You're going to stand out. You want to get meetings? They're going to take you seriously. You want to shoot it yourself and premiere at a film festival? You're going to actually create something people will actually want to watch. Otherwise, your script is just words on a page. Nice words, maybe, but not words that open doors. So if you want to achieve real success as a screenwriter, if you want your stories to reach people and create opportunities for yourself, then writing at a Hollywood quality level isn't optional. It's the baseline. And the first thing you have to fix is your story. And in this video, I give you a 4-part test for how to easily fix your story. Now, if you want to work with me to begin to write Hollywood quality scripts where I walk you through how to do it, there's a link below where you can learn about that and position yourself for success no matter what you're writing.